Alright, hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between RiceDumpling or Glutinous RiceDumpling versus F91 here on Steps of War. F91 spawning as the blue Zerg player on the south side, meanwhile Rice spawning on the north side as the red Protoss. If you haven't seen game 1 in this matchup, it was on Lost Temple. Go ahead and check that out. Don't want to give anything away too much. And now this is game 2 in this set, and hopefully it does turn out to be a good one. Now, a lot of you guys, or a lot of people have been asking me, when's my announcement coming out? When's my announcement coming out? It will be coming out, I believe, sometime around January 7th. So, I don't think it's going to be first thing in the morning, but around January 7th, my announcement will be coming out. I will let you guys know what's happening, and hopefully you guys will be as excited as I am as soon as I announce it. I'll probably feature the video on my YouTube channel, so that you guys don't have to go hunt and peck for it. And today is January 5th, if you guys are watching this out of order, and the announcement may already be out since this is outside of time, you know, YouTube able to create videos for us. But yeah, I digress, as this is still in the first 2 minutes of the game, not too much really happening. Probe just hanging around, no, not doing any assimilator blocking, still wandering around, and now we see a spawning pool coming in. Did the probe spot it? Is the key question. I'm not sure if he actually spotted it in time, and now moving back over here in order to see if a hatchery is down, and no hatchery, so Rice now gonna just simply walk back up that ramp, see that there is in fact a spawning pool down over here, looking for that spawning pool. Come on, probe, find it, find that. There you go. Now sees the extractor, sees the spawning pool, and goes, ah, that's what you're going for. Back over here, we now currently have one gateway still warping in. Assimilator is up and running. The second pylon is down, so we will be getting the cybernetics core in just a moment, and we'll see what exactly Rice tries to do. Now, one of the key things to keep track of here is that Rice decided not to use any of his chrono boost until well, actually he's still not using any of his chrono boost, so he may be going for a very heavy rush in just a moment. You know that for every 25 energy you reduce the build time by 10 game seconds. So this Zealot, which normally takes what, 38 seconds to build, only takes 28 to build. And then once you also get that warp gate research out, it goes from 28 down to 18 or about 19, just because yeah, it's not a full 20 seconds. And now back over here, we now see Zerglings trying to chase down a probe. The probe is trying to run all the way home, and oh, now we see a second gateway now being placed down. The Zealot needs to walk back up that ramp, not quite sure what he's doing, as those Zerglings will be able to run by, and that is going to be a very bad sign, as the probe not even holding the position there and now trying to hold off against this really large swarm, and that's going to be very bad play. 4 Zerglings in the base, going to cause a lot of harassment. The sentries, however, with that range of 6, should be able to hold off more targets, as this one probe perhaps should try to sit in that position there, trying to delay just a little bit, as the Zealot now giving chase towards those Zerglings. So the Zerglings will be able to make it back down over here, perhaps do some damage, and now that one poor probe who was just scouting there, quickly getting taken down, and F91 not really able to abuse the fact. Oh, Sentry now getting caught on the wrong side. What is that Sentry doing? That Sentry is right for the pickings right there, as that Sentry, oh, able to finally fend off an attack there, as those Zerglings continue to try to give chase, sitting in that position, unable to get surrounded. And wow, 2 very low hit point Zerglings will be able to run all the way home. And no, deciding not to run home, instead gonna sit on this ramp and just try to sit there. We now see a cybernetics core currently getting chrono boosted for that warp gate research. Rice looked like he was thinking about getting an expansion and then decided against it, as we now see 14 Zerglings being queued up. So a very large Zergling army indeed. F91, instead of power droning, power Zerging, and will be able to get a very strong army in. Now with that one sentry and that one Zealot, it will be fairly difficult for F91 to be able to break this ramp, especially as that warp gate research completes. It will, what I call, front load all of the building and all the warp-ins. Now we should be getting a couple more sentries, perhaps even one stalker as well. 2 sentries there, yeah, 2 more sentries, and now another gateway coming online, so we will have a 3rd sentry if we have a, no, we are currently supply locked at 34/34. Now getting a pylon here, and in come the Zerglings. The Zerglings now swarming in. We do see a force field now come in, as those Zerglings going to clean up many of these Zealots. So down goes another Zealot. The force field placement was nice, enabling him to not have to fight a complete flank. We now see the pylon quickly getting taken down. No pylon taken down, as the Zerglings trying to take down the sentries. Perhaps some damage should be dealt to this pylon. The 2 sentries now up on that high ground, the pylon on the low ground as well. The pylon will get taken down, down it goes, and now the Zerglings just going to try to constantly attack. In comes another force field, and now somehow Rice just able to hold this position. One Zealot currently stuck in a force field, but recharging shields now, and now waiting for that force field to come down. And now it will be able to get some more damage onto that Zealot. No additional energy. Oh no, never mind. Another force field coming into play. So it will be about another couple of seconds or so. More Zealots now being warped in, as in addition to another pylon now. And Zealot now trying to walk out. That was a really bad move indeed. In comes another force field. So 2 Zerglings getting caught there, or 3 Zerglings. Down goes another, and it looks like F91 just continuing to try to abuse this harassment, or by the fact that his opponent is now unable to get another expand out. So the Zealots and the sentries finally making their way down the ramp. More Zealots still being warped in. The Zerglings trying to get some extra damage, but will not be able to, as we now see a Roach Warren coming into play. No tech to tier 2 just quite yet. Taking a look at the Harvester count, though, the Harvester count definitely in favor of F91, as F91 sitting on 37 compared to 31, also mining from 16 mineral patches instead of 8. That is the reason why he's actually able to almost double the mining capacity, if you do not account in for the gas as well. So Zerglings still being swarmed in down in this position. He is macroing up a lot of Zerglings, so that may be a problem, as those Zerglings now try to come in, trying to swarm around the target, able to get a decent surround on some of those units. The force fields will block a complete surround. Zealot now getting picked off. More force fields still coming in, and now a lot of damage being dealt. Those Zerglings just continuing the suicide, forcing RiceDumpling to get a lot of units, trying to warp in more, and now his Harvester count not being produced. I don't think, only getting a Nexus down over here. He will not be able to really saturate the other expansion. He does also have a lot of energy on his Nexus. Production-wise, we now see Roaches finally being trained, in addition to 12 more Zerglings, as a fight now ensues on the middle of the map. More pylons now being warped in as well. Stalkers currently being warped in addition to 1 Zealot with that pylon on that high ground, and now in comes the counterattack. Dumpling, or Rice, now deciding to move in. 1 Stalker moving out in the wrong direction, and there is currently only some Roaches, and now Roaches and a Queen trying to come in. That Spinecrawler does have a little bit of range, and now able to get some damage, and now stopping any of the escape, and now the Roaches trying to snipe down even further. The Queen is off the creep, so unable to get that much damage, and now in comes some more Roaches. Roaches able to pick off some of those Zealots. A Zealot will get taken down here, and now the Roaches now continuing to give chase. More Zerglings still being trained. So a massive army now coming in, and now we see more Roaches continue to try to push more. Another army of 5 units coming in once again. The Roaches, however, caught off of creep, having a very difficult time against those Stalkers, which have a decent range and a fast movement speed. Those Roaches need to turn around and actually spit, as opposed to just spitting, and there you go, able to fight underneath the cover of 1 Spinecrawler. But now we see RiceDumpling coming in with additional reinforcements. That 1 Spinecrawler, however, may be able to fend off a lot of damage, as there's not that many sentries in. Roaches continue to push out. Once again, Zerglings just tongue-tying me and all of these. I'm sorry, the Zerglings tongue-tying this whole entire army, are blocking the pathing of these units here. We see more Stalkers coming in, and now we should also be seeing more Roaches. And as soon as we have the movement speed upgrade, the movement speed upgrade should be very strong for those Roaches. Roaches now continuing to give chase. Roaches trying to go after. We don't see any additional creep tumors, and now that Queen also coming in. Down goes 1 Zealot there, as those Zerglings perhaps going to get us around, and with no sentries to block, this whole entire Stalker army will get taken down. And there's the GG once again. So there's the... as Rice loses game 2 in this best of 3 matchup. Yeah, once again, thanks for SC2 Replays for not revealing the end of the game until after the GG. Much appreciated. But yeah, just a really well played game here on Steps of War. You saw Rice just pushing out. There was a lot of attacking back and forth. The game was pretty close at the very end, until F91 was able to get a really strong surround on those Stalkers. Those Stalkers with nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and no force fields to protect them from the melee damage of those Zerglings, quickly fell. And then the Roaches were able to clean it up. The Zerglings weren't there to really deal a lot of damage, as much as they were there to just stop the Stalkers from being able to escape. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Rice and F91 here on Steps of War.